I think we're recording. It says it's recording. Anyway, hi, it's Marcy. It is what is today? The 8th of August. It is a Saturday. It's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon here in New York. And I have a very disgruntled cat who you may hear. We adopted 2 new kittens and he's not quite happy. Anyway, the purpose of this little video chat here, the reason I'm recording today is because I want to talk about what it's like living with a narcissist. It really is one of the foundational aspects of the early half of my life, I should say. My mom, besides being a bipolar and in later years an opiate drug addict, unfortunately, was also a narcissist. She just always and only always saw her life from her point of view. And there were times where she seemed empathetic, but there was always something she was getting out of it, I think. She really liked throwing parties and she really liked giving gifts to people, but I think she did those things not necessarily out of the kindness of her heart, but because of how it made her look. I know that sounds really harsh, and she wasn't always like that, and I loved her despite the fact that she had all these issues, but I kind of felt like my worth, my value, my deservingness of love, it's not really a word, but my deserving of love was transactional, that I was a people pleaser. I had grown up feeling like my job was to calm people down, to make them feel better, to take care of them, to be a diplomat, to try to smooth things over, even if in doing all of those things, it was negating or, what's the word I'm looking for, devaluing or ignoring my own interests or my own feelings. And so when I was building relationships with boys as a teenager, and then when I was in my mid-20s and I was looking for a more serious commitment and a relationship, and I met my first husband, when he behaved that way, the same way my mother behaved, it felt familiar to me. Like both of them, you know the phrase, say what you mean and mean what you say. But with a narcissist, with both of these people and some of the men that I dated after my divorce, they never say what they mean or mean what they say. They make it sound like what you think you want them to say, but it's always said with their agenda in mind, with their transaction in mind. And they want it to look like they're doing things empathetically, they're doing things out of the kindness of their heart, but they're really not interested in being kind at all. They're really only interested 100% of the time in forwarding their own agenda, in using your feelings, your behavior, your needs, your wants, your everything as a way of getting something out of you, as a way of trapping you in your logic so that either you'll leave them alone or you'll do what they want you to do. Like both of them, my mom and my ex and other people. So let's just say narcissists in general, they do what they want almost exclusively 100% of the time and without any apologies. Like they won't say, I'm sorry I hurt your feelings. They'll say, I'm sorry you feel I hurt your feelings, which is a very different thing. They will do things that they knowingly will hurt you, will make you feel awful, and either will completely ignore the situation, which is what my mother did. She'd say and do whatever she needed to do, whatever she felt like doing, and then completely ignore the situation. So it was like I was batshit crazy, and the thing that was hurting me, she would not admit ever even happened. My ex-husband, on the other hand, would turn it around and be angry at me for having my feelings hurt, that he had the right, he behaved as if he had the right to do whatever he wanted because that's what he wanted to do. And if I felt injured because of it, that was my fault. And so when I met him, it felt familiar to me because he and I followed the same relationship template that I had with my mom. So the narcissists in your life are always going to feel superior to you. They're always going to feel that they are in control and they deserve to be in control. And they're going to exert that control. They're never going to feel like they have any reason to apologize to you because they don't do anything wrong. Everything that they do, they think is fine. You can even catch them in lies and they will still completely ignore it. And I've done this with all of the narcissists in my life. My therapist and many therapists, many people in the psychoanalytical field refer to narcissists as the people of the lie because they lie unflinchingly. They lie about anything and everything to make sure that everything that happens is in line with their agenda and what they want and how they feel. And they'll just rewrite history in lies, in made up circumstances, just to create the circumstance or the environment where their agenda is true, where their behavior seems ethical and good. But meanwhile, they're gaslighting you. This whole thing is a big gaslit circumstance. My alarm's going off. Sorry. They're going to insult you. They're going to belittle you. They're going to use your reasoning to create a circular argument to catch you in it. They're going to guilt you, make a massive guilt trip to make you feel guilty, to prove that you're, that there's a reason why you should be going along with what they want. They're going to diagnose you with anxiety or with depression or whatever they need to do to prove that in every possible way they're better than you are. They're going to prove you wrong. They're going to prove you weak, less capable, less intelligent, just so they can control you, just so they can say that they saved you. They're the ones that know better. So you have no choice, seemingly, but to go along with what they want. And the never saying what they mean or meaning what they say, I've figured out 11 things that narcissists say to get us to unwittingly find them caring, generous, empathetic, compassionate, smarter, to get us to comply with what they want. They'll say, tell me why you feel that way. And then whatever you say as your reason as to why you feel that way, they're going to turn your logic inside out on you and use it against you. Or number two, they might say, well, I can see that you think you have it all figured out. This is just a way to prove you wrong and to prove them right, that they're more intelligent and more capable than you are. Or number three, which is what I said earlier, I'm sorry that you feel that I hurt your feelings. This is not an apology. This is, I'm sorry you're annoying me and you think that I did something wrong, but I didn't. Number four, I'm just trying to be helpful, which isn't true because they're never helpful. They're just trying to tell you what to do, so you think it's help, but you might not need their help to start with. Number five, I've done all that I need to do. This is their way of absolving themselves of any more culpability or responsibility in a situation. My ex-husband used to do this one to me all the time. I've done all that I need to do. It's all up to you now. And he'd say, I know exactly what you feel. I've done all this research before. I've done my part. You now have to do your part. He just doesn't want, they just don't want to be interested. They're not interested. They don't want to be involved in anything that you're doing because it doesn't meet with what they're interested in. I'm sorry that things didn't work out for you. This isn't really an empathetic, compassionate response. This is, you know, I don't really care. I'm sorry it didn't work out for you because I know better and you don't. And, you know, if you listened to me in the first place, it would have gone better. Or I've never thought about that before, or I never thought about it like that before. This is also something sometimes that other people say, you know, when they're actually trying to learn something. But from a narcissist, what it means is, I've never thought about it like that before, because that's bullshit and it's stupid to think about it that way. There's no reason to think about it that way. So I don't know why you're wasting all of our time by thinking it that way. Number 8 would be, let me explain this to you. I am the sage. I am the wise one. Let me explain it to you, you little stupid peon. I can't even imagine how you don't understand this. Let me explain it to you from a narcissist is not a good thing. Number 9, what's done is done. And you could say that. What is, you know, you can't do anything about the pandemic. It is what it is. You know, you wear your masks, you go out, you socially distance, and pray that everyone else is doing the same thing. It is what it is, you know. But what's done is done is also a way of washing your hands. I'm sorry, I lied and I made everything up and you're upset, but what's done is done. Forget it, move on. So it's an absolution of a narcissist's culpability or responsibility in something. Number 10, you can't change the past. That's the same thing. I might have lied and completely fabricated an entire thing, an entire circumstance, an entire whatever, and you may have caught me in it, but I'm not going to apologize because I'm not wrong. What's done is done. Tough crap. Move on. You can't change what is. And then the last one that I'm going to talk about right now is number 11, and I ran out of fingers. I don't want to argue with you, which is true. This is basically shut up, stop talking. You're driving me crazy. Go away. I may have lied, fabricated the whole thing, created a new history, but I don't want to argue with you. You're not worth the time. Go away. I'm not guilty because everything I want to do is fine. So be careful. You may think that a narcissist is going to change, but a narcissist will never in 1,000 years, no matter how much breath you expend on it, a narcissist will never, ever change, will never, ever recognize that they're narcissists. They just don't see it. They might be able to pick out narcissism in someone else. They'll read a textbook definition of a narcissist and they'll go, oh yes, that's that person. They will never realize that it's them because they feel like they're entitled and there's nothing wrong with their entitlement. So be careful. The best thing that you can do for yourself if you are emotionally connected and emotionally involved with a narcissist is to safeguard yourself, put up your boundaries, and walk away if you can. If it's your parent and you still want a relationship, then keep your distance. Don't give them any ammunition to use against you, and keep your expectations pretty low because it's the only way to not be disappointed. If it's somebody you're in a romantic relationship with, maybe you want to rethink that. I mean, you do what you want, but every single narcissistic relationship that I've ever been in, I resolved. Unfortunately, my mother passed away, so that resolved itself, but I resolved by extricating them from my life, extricating myself from their lives, broke up, got divorced, ran off, whatever. Send them to the curb. There is no such thing as a healthy relationship where you're going to get your needs met with the respect and love and belonging and community and safety and peace that you deserve if you're involved with a narcissist. It's not going to happen. It's not your fault. You are deserving of love and belonging. Protect yourself from a narcissist. They're the people of the lie, and they will never tell you the truth. Anyway, that's What's Up, Marcy, for today. I hope you're all well and enjoying the weekend. The weather here in the Northeast looks a little good, I think. It's not as hot as it was. So that's it. Till next time. I love you all. Be well. Bye.